Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. So today I'm really excited to show everyone my newest CGC 9.8 addition to the collection, and my latest purchase off of eBay. In the past week or two here, I talked about it maybe on two separate videos that I had purchased this CGC 9.8. So it might not be like the biggest surprise to everyone, but still very excited about this one. Such a classic key issue for this run of comics, and it's a CGC 9.8 white pages. It's a newsstand version too, so kind of the more desirable newsstand version, and in a really nice, flawless new case too. So just really happy with how the purchase went too. But yeah, let's get right into it here. We'll certainly look at all the details. Getting right into it. Newest add to the collection is Incredible Hulk 271. Yeah, such a classic key issue from this era of Incredible Hulk. You get the first comic book appearance of Rocket Raccoon. So, Rocket Raccoon, I think, is probably the most sort of recognizable character of Guardians of the Galaxies, like to the average person, kind of. So, it probably is like the main first appearance to get if you really like Guardians of the Galaxies, like I do. So, yeah, let's look on the census here. Like, such a classic cover. This one is a white background cover, and Al Milgrom did the cover, and yeah, it's somewhat pretty rare in these white cover books usually are quite rare. So 347 on the CGC census in the blue label, so a 1 in 347. You like to feel that, and you can get that a great collector item. And the CGC 9.8 ratio, it's 13%, so nice and low. So of all graded copies, 13% of them are CGC 9.8, and that's really low. That's nice. Anywhere around that 10%, the lower the better for these CGC 9.8 ratios. So anywhere around 10% is a very nice investment grade CGC 9.8 ratio, and under that is where a lot of the really, really expensive books go. And yeah, talking about price, this book is not cheap, that's for sure, but it hasn't really reached that level to get really, really expensive. So I ended up paying for this newsstand version, if you notice here. It was $550 and $20 shipping too. So they kind of a decent shipping rate for Canada for sure. Now $550, I had one on Go Collect, and the fair market value is $550 on Go Collect as well. And interesting, I did see this book in the direct version in an old case it was $499.99, so below fair market value, and that was on eBay, I think, right now, unless it's sold. So that might be a bit of a deal if that's sort of up your alley for this book. But $550, how I sort of purchased this comic book, though, it was on the internet for $650. And, just looking at the seller, I recognized the seller just sort of from Instagram even too, the seller. So I went on their Instagram and, good feedback on Instagram, like thousands of followers, been on eBay for over 10 years. So messaged him and was like, hey, that $650 Hulk 271, you want to do a direct deal for $550? And he said, yep, it's yours, basically, is what he messaged me back. So, you know what? To pay the fair market value for such a nice Hulk 271 with in the newsstand version, kind of the more desirable version. Yeah, kind of no pages sticking out the side. This Marvel comic groups here, you can always tell the centering from looking at this banner because it's a straight line. So really nice centering on this one, being that that line is sort of I guess perpendicular with the top of the book. Centering on this one, it's pretty much almost perfect along the spine. If you notice, there's like a bit more, I think a bit of the back cover kind of showing on the bottom, but you kind of like that, but then at the top, it's like perfectly centered, so it's maybe not 100% centered on the spine, but we're talking details here. A solid 9.8 white pages, so happy with it. The case is pristine. Yeah, I was looking at the case, really good. Nice pristine new case, nicely centered, pages white, super flat, yeah. So, this is the first comic book appearance of Rocket Raccoon. His first appearance was in Marvel Preview number 7 in 1976. So this being in 1982, quite a long time after. And you might think like, oh, well, this really isn't his first appearance then. But, so did just a little bit of research in that Marvel Preview number 7. First of all, the cover has like Satana on it. So it's not even Like he's not on the cover, so there's no classic Rocket Raccoon cover on that one at all. You don't even know he's in the book basically by looking at the cover. In that first appearance in 1976, he was named Rocky, and then in this book, you find out that Rocky stands for Rocket, and it's like Rocket Raccoon. So to me, even though this is like not his first overall appearance, with it, you know, being sort of identified that his name is Rocket in this one, it's basically the first appearance as we know him as Rocket Raccoon. Plus, you get an amazing cover, and yeah, the thing about the cover that's just awesome. It's like it's got some speech bubbles on it, and you always love humor with comic books. It's one of the reasons why we all love comic books, I think. But it's like, what? Hulk has to share his 20th anniversary issue with puny talking animal? And it's like, you got it, J-Jaws. Move over and make way for Rocket Raccoon. So I thought that was, I know, like, when I read that, kind of what made me really, really like this issue. Just that little speech bubble kind of joke on the cover. But great classic cover, like Al Milgrom, just pretty plain, but wow, like just kind of nailed it. And great colors too. I really like just the kind of yellow and the red with, you know, a lot of great colors on this one, which is awesome to have, I think. Okay, so I boiled it down really quick here to 4 reasons why I ended up, you know, because $550, like it's not something I take lightly to spend, $550. So 4 reasons why I kind of, you know, decided to pull the trigger. So for reason number 1, looks pretty great on the census. Like a 13% CGC 9.8 ratio is a great investment grade ratio. It's, you know, right around, like anything that's not an Amazing Spider-Man book that's around like 10% is a really great investment grade ratio for an 80s book. And a 1 of 347 collectible item, you know, only 347 of these out there, and I'd imagine this is a very high grade one, being that it's a newsstand and no pages sticking out the side. Like, yeah, just a really, really high grade one. That's really one of the reasons why I really decided to purchase this, even though it's a CGC 9.8. Like all CGC 9.8s aren't created equal, and this I think is in the sort of the higher percentile of you know, high grade CGC 9.8s. So it looks great on the census. Yeah, 1 of 347, low 13% CGC 9.8 ratio, nice rarity. Second reason I bought it was a newsstand version. Yeah, I prefer newsstands. Certainly, I noticed prices for newsstands always go higher for this era too, whether it's like, you know, an 80s book or an 81 or 82. Newsstands always go for premium, so that was certainly a little bit of the reason why, if this was a direct, you know, maybe wouldn't have paid $550 for it. Number 3, classic cover. I just think this is a great cover with those speech bubbles too. Makes it even better. And yeah, as I said too, like being that the first appearance doesn't really have a classic Rocket Raccoon cover, this one does, and I do think Rocket Raccoon is the most recognizable Guardians of the Galaxy to like the average person. And I think that'll kind of matter over time. Like, I know I just bought that, you know, Star-Lord, first appearance of Star-Lord book. And even though he's kind of the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxies, he's not really maybe the face of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, yeah, I think, again, to the average person, Rocket Raccoon is sort of the main most recognizable character of Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, so number 3 was just classic cover. And sort of, yeah, because it is one of the early first classic Rocket Raccoon covers, coinciding with his first comic book appearance. The number 4 reason was, yeah, team member Joseph had just messaged me on Instagram watching the videos, and he picked up basically this book, and I think his is actually even better centered than mine along the spine. A newsstand version, and he paid $569.99, and I thought, you know, that was a, you know, really fair value, and it's one that I sort of mentioned on other videos that for a year, about a year ago, I really drilled down and wanted to grab this book, and made offers right around $550 for nice ones, and never got approved. Yeah, just were turned down those offers, and it just never happened. So, but I think with, you know, Joseph showing me his, and his just looked so nice, I was a little bit jealous probably, and was maybe the final reason to get me over the line. But, yeah, such a classic, incredible Hulk book from this era. It's pretty much the key to get out of Hulk books from this era, and for good reason. Yeah, such a classic cover. the most recognizable face of Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's, in a way, like, you know, Star-Lord's kind of like Cyclops, and then Rocket Raccoon's like Wolverine. Like, that's sort of like a little bit of my thinking, if you want to compare. Yeah, just overjoyed to kind of have one, and, you know, it's always, I kind of mentioned, I think on last video, like, it's always a good feeling when you get a real high-grade CGC 9.8 that's, like, perfectly centered, and the colors are great, and it's perfectly flat, and the case is flawless when you get it in, and there's no surprises, and, yeah, that's what really happened to me on this order. So, yep, so glad I could share it with everyone. Quick unbox here that, yeah, if you haven't already, invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Yeah, I'd love to have you on our comic book collecting and comic book investing team. And yeah, hit the bell to get all our latest notifications. And add me on Instagram and Twitter too. Yeah, I'll have all the links in the description below. But yeah, honestly, this is such an investment-worthy CGC 9.8 book to buy. And, you know, for $550, kind of a lot of money, you think, but there's books that are more expensive than this that I probably would want this book more. And because, yeah, like I said, with that low CGC 9.8 ratio, it is an investment-grade book. And, yep, considering, too, that in that Marvel Preview magazine, like, it's not there's no classic Rocket Raccoon cover. They don't even call him Rocket Raccoon in the thing. So this is really, to me, the first appearance, even though it's kind of the second overall appearance. It pretty much still is the first appearance. And, yeah, classic cover. So many. Yeah, and I do mention, too, like, Incredible Hulk books, something kind of special about them, where I think over time, like, investors gravitate to them. So, Incredible Hulk 340 from late 80s, Incredible Hulk 271 from early 80s, and Incredible Hulk 181, first Wolverine from, like, mid-70s. So, yeah, just really, it's kind of something about Incredible Hulk books. Alright, but, thanks so much for watching today, and, yeah, really appreciating all the support and some of the comments, and message me on Instagram if you have any questions about comic books. Yeah, always having a couple conversations with the team, and yeah, it's so fun to just chit chat about comic books. And yeah, let me know what you're buying into. I will throw those completed listings on the pricing videos that we do occasionally. So yeah, let me know of any completed listings and prices that you're seeing. Thanks so much for watching today, though. Yeah, quick unbox here. Yeah, just overjoyed to have Incredible Hulk 271, a super nice one, CGC 9.8 white pages. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.